Hello, good evening, and welcome back. Here's an example of, terrible, toxic masculinity, but showing that police officers do still know how to be police officers and can do things worthwhile to serve and protect. As we see, dramatic moment, hero police officer runs into burning block of flats and rescues families and young children from inside as fire caused by cannabis farm rips through building. And the chap in question, there he is. Great cheesy smile, love it. PC Lun. So, essentially, he's driving along the road, just on patrol at night, as you see here. He goes, I see there seems to be a fire coming out of that window. Well, there could be people inside, and I know that it's December 9th and it's quite chilly, but that's not the ideal way to warm up a home. So, without really thinking, he just dashes inside, make sure that the people come out, you see in that block of flats there, making sure that everybody's safe, while radioing in what is happening, getting the fire services out concurrently. On top of that, while he's going through, he stumbles along a load of old bin bags, because there's a cannabis farm going on. So now, while he's stopped in order to save people from a burning building, which isn't really part of his job description, but he felt like he had to do it because, as I say, that's toxic masculinity at work. That there's, oh Christ, there's also a crime being committed here. Okay, well, let's get these people out because otherwise they're not going to have their day in court. So let's radio in that there's a cannabis farm happening while this house is burning down. So that's top-notch reporting right there. I find it astounding. I mean, it does raise questions as to how did the fire start, and they're saying, well, it's because of the cannabis factory. So, okay. Or what was the police officer doing just before this happened? I don't want to cast aspersions on him, as he seems like a lovely chap, but you get the idea that it seems like we've got no reason to enter this property, but we know that there are drugs in there. So how about if we frame it like we're helping people because there's a fire? Then that's going to be perfectly acceptable. And the people who are responsible for the cannabis haven't been found yet or identified. We don't know who they are. But that's always my conspiratorial mind going down that route. But this, let's just provide some more context here. So, PC Spencer Lunn put his life on the line to safely evacuate residents as flames tore through the property. The 26-year-old happened to be driving down Bristol Road in Selly Oak, Birmingham, when he saw the fire bursting through the roof of flats above some shops. He immediately got out of his vehicle, ran into the building, banging on doors to ensure everyone got out safely. He's running through saying, "Police, police, fire, everyone outside, get out," which is brilliant. During the COVID lockdown, a police officer was actually saying that you can leave your house and encouraging you to do so. Good job. PC London swears and exclaims, "What's all this?" before calling through on his police radio, "We have a suspected cannabis farm." Later, he's shown colleagues at the scene, "We were literally going up, saw the flames and called it in. We've gone around the back to try and clear all the flats out." Spencer, who has been with the West Midlands Police for 3 years, said it all happened so fast and I was just operating on adrenaline. "I just reacted and did what I thought was right at the time, and as the only thing going through my mind was getting people out safely and making sure no one was trapped inside, or if anyone was unaware as to what was happening. The fire was popping and crackling, and it was really intense at the time. I didn't know it spread so quickly, and when I came face to face with it, it was certainly a shock." But this does go to show that even in places like Birmingham, of course, which are very diverse, shall we say, and you might think that Liberals have taken over the police force too much and it's just dominated by soy, that there are still chaps like PC Lunn right here, good old Spencer, showing that, that there are still good police officers who aren't just power hungry and actually do intend to do the job properly. And it's an example to other police officers as well to say, you might have rulings from top down which seem a bit tyrannical, but that isn't the stuff that you need to focus on. You can still focus on protecting people instead of just trying to tear families apart and lock people up for no apparent reason. could do that instead. So they say PC Lunn is part of West Midlands Police Force's support unit, which helps at crime scenes and other operations. His boss, Chief Inspector Imran Mirza, so just diverse, said this was brilliant work from Spencer. That's the only time you're going to hear Imran saying brilliant work from us, Spencer. He put others before himself and ran towards the danger, as our officers so often have to do. His efforts on that night really embodied our values of protecting the public and helping those in need, which, yes, we all know that the police don't always do the job that they should do. And it's so easy to point out the bad examples and police brutality and all that. Yes, we know, and sure, I'll rag on them as much as the next guy. But at the same time, if something good happens, you've got to point that out as well. You've got to show that there is a possible good to actually aspire to. And it is feasible, it is possible, there are people doing it already, and this is more of what we need to see. If we're trying to rebuild communities and have respect for police officers, it's got to come both ways. One is, of course, education about the state of play that police officers find themselves in at the moment, and that it's not as bad as BLM are trying to lead people to believe. But from the other side of it, it's got to come down from police officers doing their best in order to keep up appearances and just doing their job in a protective manner instead of just getting all caught up with having power. So with that in mind, these things do need to be exemplified in order to show that there is still hope yet. There are people doing the right things, and everybody else can join in and should be uplifted by stories like this. So it's a nice little way to start the week. But that's it for me. So as always, let me know what you guys think down below. If you think, well, no, it's not really a police officer's job, or he was only going in there because if there was a fire that big and that much cannabis, you'd be able to smell that from a mile away. Either way, let me know down below. Always intrigued to hear what you guys have to say. And as always, until next time, have a good one.